hi.
You're so funny, dude. You're such a funny knucklehead. Yeah.
Mommy's baby. Hi, Naja. Good morning. Good morning, my prince.
You hopping on mommy's blankets?
My boy. Talking about how we can train our dog to run alongside of a bicycle. It's so much easier than it looks. I can't tell you how many people watch me run with up to 5 dogs at a time, and they say, wow, I wish my dog could do that. Or they'll talk to their dog and say, see, that's how a good dog behaves. But they don't really realize it's so easy. So here are my top tips. First, your dog has to be comfortable around a bicycle. And so what I've done is I have my bike propped up, as you see, on its kickstand. You want to be very careful that you are near the bike so that if your dog bumps into the bike and knocks it over, which would scare them, or even falls on them, which could hurt them and also scare them, you want to be careful that doesn't happen. You catch the bike, because that is obviously a negative experience that could stick with your dog forever, and we want this to be an overall positive experience. All right, so I'm standing next to the bike, and I'm going to make sure that my dog is close to the bike, and we're going to give him some treaties. These are my crappy shoes. Please don't judge me on my shoes, okay? I use my worst quality shoes to mow grass and ride bikes with dogs. Okay, so what we're going to do is, again, I'm staying close to the bike so that I can catch it if it falls. And I'm moving around the bike, and I'm getting the dogs accustomed to moving around the bike. Hey, get down, sir. Get down. Get down. And I'm giving them both treats. And so they're getting used to being around the bicycle and associating it with treats. So they're going to have a positive memory of the bicycle. Really, that is a step that you could take for up to several days, depending on if you have a dog who is fearful or anxious. And also, here's a good time to point this out. Do you see that my dog's leash has come under his armpit? And that's because his collar slid around, is a little bit loose. Now, this almost never happens to me, but it does happen very occasionally. It used to happen a lot because my dogs weren't, when they were first learning how to get aligned. It's only happened right now because we were walking in a weird tight space. But for a newbie, I would recommend that you actually get your dog a body harness to hook up the leash to, and that will prevent the leash from going underneath of their legs, which if that happens when you're riding a bike, it actually could be dangerous. All right, so like I said, that is a step of just being around the bicycle that you can take with your dogs for up to several days or longer, until you sense that your dog is comfortable around the bicycle. The next step would be just go for a walk with your dog and the bicycle, just you walking alongside the bike. Now, you may notice that I choose to keep my dogs on the right-hand side, away from the traffic. I see a lot of people keep their dog on the left-hand side. Whichever side you choose, just make sure that you choose the same side every time. It's just like how we humans, we know which lane we're supposed to be in the United States, and many other countries we right drive. So think how confusing it is when you change from a right drive to a left drive country. That's what you're doing when you ask your dog to change from running alongside the right hand to the left hand. Okay, so here's a good moment. My dog is way too far in front of me. Hey, Nacho, get back. Thank you. You need to have a word. Get back, Nacho. Get back. Thank you. You need to have a word for that, so your dog will learn. He doesn't really do that when we're running. Nacho, get back. Still working on it. But yeah, it can be dangerous if they get back, Nacho. Get back. He's still working on it. But yeah, keep them on the same side. And then we'll continue to give them treats as they, and you can also tug on the leash a little bit. We'll continue to give them treats as they spend however much time you think that they need to run alongside the bicycle. But this tip is not unique to bike riding. Just anytime you walk your dog, I always keep grocery bags that I can use as waste bags, or sometimes I will buy waste bags. It depends. I have paper towels that I've torn in half, and then I also have gloves. And you should always have enough bags to paper towels and gloves to allow for each dog that's with you to do their business 3 times, because if you never know, they have a little upset stomach and you can't clean behind them on time number 3. It's really embarrassing to leave stuff on somebody's yard. People spend a lot of time, effort, money to make their front yard, their lawn look beautiful, and they take pride in that, and you're just going to let your dog crap on it? Well, unfortunately I don't really have a choice. My dog is going to have to do his business, but the least that I can do is make sure that no residue is left behind. When I go for longer bike rides, I bring a backpack. One of the things that I'll bring is a small travel size, I get the little travel size spray bottles from Walmart, a travel size bottle of enzymatic spray. And so then after I clean up behind my dog and I make sure that no blade of grass has any poop residue on it, then I'll lightly spray the enzymatic spray to avoid that burning a hole into that person's grass. It's the least I can do, right? And then also for longer bike rides or runs, in my backpack I bring water bottles and water bowls for each dog. The first day that you actually start riding your bike, you want to pick a day like today. It's Sunday, it's a holiday. Very few people are out on the road early in the morning, and obviously you're dealing with less traffic. And then also just pick an area that's residential and lower traffic. Eventually you are going to be able to ride your bike with your dog in heavily trafficked areas, but today is not the day. You want to go slowly. Your dog should almost be walking, really, because your dog is not yet trained to not stop and smell while on a bike run. So if they need to stop, if they need to pee, do any business, if something happens, you're going to be in a much better position if your dog was walking compared to if you were pedaling fast and your dog was running. Another thing is, make sure on the day that you ride that bicycle for the first time, and really any time that you go for a bike ride, you've already spent a good 5 minutes permitting time for your dog to smell, urinate, defecate. And really I give my dogs more than 5 minutes. I like to give them a good 10 minutes of walking, 9 to 10 minutes. You may notice that I did not stop at that stop sign. Sometimes you'll see if I do a video I don't stop at a stop sign. That's because it is such a dead morning and I can see down that street for so long that nobody is coming. I'm obviously driving a lot slower than a car would be driving. But really, do as I say, not as I do. You should be stopping at every stop sign, and it's good practice for your dog. So we're going to stop at the stop sign up ahead. And you do want to make sure that you say it loudly enough, because remember, your dog is focusing on a lot of things. And I also have an old dog here who's partially deaf. So we are going to have to say it louder than we might think we should have to say it. All right, get ready to stop, boys. Stop. Good. All right, we're going to go left. We're going to go left, 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 left. The turns that are away from the dog are easier. The turns that are in toward their body are going to be harder. And you do want to make sure that you have some word. I've heard people who ride with their bikes say left and right. I've heard other words, but make sure that you pick a word to indicate left and right, and you stick to it. And you use it every time that you turn. And say stop every time that you stop. Try to have a halfway mark before you head back in your bike ride that is a place of interest for your dog. A place of interest for you is not the same as for your dog. So that would be for your dog a place that is high traffic, that has other dog smells, and where they can just sniff around. You think you got enough? My dog Nacho has a boxer friend named Duke, and he saw Duke kicking like that one day when they were playing, and I saw his eyes get wide, and he just looked so serious. He was like, wow, that's so cool. Duke is such an alpha male. And after that, he always kicks, like way overdoes it like that ever since that day. But anyway, yeah, just make sure that you have a halfway mark that is a high traffic area where there'll be a lot of smells, ideally a lot of dog smells that they can smell. Right now it's winter, and so in South Florida, this is our comfortable months. But if it were winter, or certainly as we reach the spring in South Florida, both of the dogs have to wear dog booties. And that's because the pavement can obviously reach really intense heats. I don't ride my dogs in the mid part of the day. That'd be crazy in the summer. But even in the mornings or in the evenings, it can still be really hot. So I'll put a link to my favorite dog booties. I'm also going to be doing some videos showing my dogs at the obstacle course, dock diving, and I'm going to show how to train a dog to ride a surfboard, skateboard, and some other things that are really taxing mentally on them, that they enjoy, that they'll look forward to, and that are great ways to curb behavioral problems, because now they're interested, right? If you have a dog who is tearing up furniture, this is a dog who is a hostage. And you say, oh no, not my dog. My dog loves me. Yeah, your dog is facing Stockholm syndrome. So don't have a prisoner dog. Make sure your dog has fun.